Hello everyone, it's Lillian here from Stamper's Niche, and I'm coming to create a card with you today, and I'm hoping you're going to create with me. Few details to take care of once we get down to the desk. One is this is the very last day for the new catalog, or not, sorry, I did something crazy with the camera, got distracted. So let's start again. This is the very last day for the old catalog. So if there's something in that catalog and it's not carrying over to the new one and you really want it, today's your last chance. But the exciting news is tomorrow the new catalog starts, and I can hardly wait. I've got a wish list a mile long, and I know that some of you likely do too. And of course my list changes as I see things, but today what I'm going to show you when we get started is a sneak peek of one of the items in the new catalog. So let's get this switched around. And what happened to my little dial thingies? Oh, there it goes. Okay, here we go. We're going to see my desk. There we go there. And we'll just get this up and running here. Can you see me? Yes, you can see me. Okay, so not only is today the last day for the retiring catalog, but it's also the last day to sign up for my designer series paper share or the new 2020-2022 in color share. So I've talked about those before. If you need to know more information, please do contact me. It's a good way of getting a sampling of most of the designer paper, just not the in colors, brights, neutrals, and regals. And it's also a great way to, over 5 months, build up your in color supplies. So there's that. The other thing is the stamping staycation. We're just running out of time here. Pretty soon it will be here. So if you want to register, it's something you're interested in, contact me. The last day for registration is, I believe, the 11th. I'm doing the draw on the 10th. And so, not the 10th, the 9th. And I will contact you right away if you win yours free. So let's get started with today. Whoops, one more thing before I get going here. Here is where you can shop online if that's something you would like to do. And if you do shop online and your order is less than $200, if you'd please use this hostess code. If it's $200 or more, then you get hostess benefits, so you really don't have to worry about it. The other thing I wanted to talk about or to address is there's been a shortage of the ink refills and ink pads, and this is sort of unheard of. And if you're wondering why is there a back order of ink pads and ink refills and that kind of thing? Well, the reason is that the company that manufactures the ink refills and some of those different items that we're waiting for, they actually had to switch production and switch over to do hand sanitizers and other types of public health types of things. So that's what's happening. They're starting to become back on track, so it'll sort itself out, but that's why there's been a bit of a problem, is that they are doing hand sanitizers and that kind of thing. So that makes sense. All right, on to today's project. Today's project, I'm going to use Whisper White 8.5 or 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to use a piece of designer paper 4 by 5. I got the idea for this card from a card I received from my downline, Mark, at least a year ago, if not more, and I put it in my I have to case this pile. I don't know if you ever do that, but I like to put cards that I see another idea for, and I never got around to it. So I don't know if you can see, but what it is, it's designer paper folded back and the stamp going in the middle. So what we're going to do first off, I've scored my card base at 4 1/4, so we'll fold that in half and just do that. And so that is why you have a light color, because you're going to be stamping on it. And we'll put that to the side. And then if you watched yesterday's post, I like to take scrap paper and plan my card out. So what I figured out was that this went on the card front here, and this went on the card front here. And I did it all with scrap paper, so I didn't ruin any of the great designer paper. And I've had a few of you going oohing and awing over this designer paper. It's like this on this side, this on this side. It's in the new catalog. It's a package of 6x6 paper. This is just some of it because I've used some, but let me just do a little flip through so you can see that. And it's flowers for every season. So there's Christmas in there. There's could be fall, winter kind of thing. This definitely speaks spring to me. So flowers for every season. That's appropriately named, just like that. That's one of my favorites too. So is that. And then this one here. And I'm going to show you this one in action in a little bit. So I did my little chart. So these are the fronts and backs of each of the designer papers, and these are the coordinating colors. So there's Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade is all the others are new in colors. Poppy Parade is from the Brights, and Whisper White. So let's take a look, see what we're going to do. By looking at Mark's sample, I realized that I need to cut it at 2 inches and then score each of those at 1/2 inch. So I'm bringing in my paper cutter. I'll put that there in case you're still writing down the measurements. So I'm going to cut at 2 inches, and this is where it's important to remember which blade cuts and which blade scores. And I see I've almost wiped off the words, so I need to relabel them. So I'm cutting at 2 inches, getting that out of the way, slide that off. Now I'm going to score at 1/2 inch, so I can take it, go either side, but I'm going to come in on this side, 1/2 inch. Now, if you find that you're scoring, you want it a little bit deeper, do remember, especially with designer paper, a light touch, but you can always slide your bone folder in here too and make it a little bit of a deeper score. I really didn't need to, but I wanted to show that tip because some of you have the old paper cutter, and that one I found that I liked to do that. So now I've cut it, scored it 1/2 inch in from each side of where I cut it. Now here's the biggest decision. What paper is going to be, where's the fold line? There it is. Am I going to use it this way? Or am I going to use it this way? What do you think, with all of the flowers and just having the flowers on the trim? Or, pardon me, all green and just having the flowers on the trim? Or all flowers and just having the green on the trim? I think I am going to go with this one right here. I think I'll have the flowers out, but obviously I could go either way. Now, I do want to stamp in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my snail, and I'm going to put just a little bit on the back of each. And as you know, snail is retiring. I'm anxious to see the replacement. So now I don't want it very sticky. I just want it to, I'm going to, sometimes I do it on my jeans or whatever, and I'm just going to lightly press it down just to hold it in position. And the reason I don't want to press it all the way down is if I goof on my stamping, I still have options. I can remove it without causing myself too much grief. So there we go. So the stamp I'm using is Cherished Friend, and it's from, here's another sneak peek, Lovely You. So I wanted a stamp that was longer and skinnier, not too fat. So any of these basically would work, and lots in any of your sets would work too. So I chose Cherished Friend. This stamp set, Lovely You, has these great solid images. I love the fonts on these words, and it also has a great punch that goes along with it. So come to the catalog kickoff to Thursday night at 7 o'clock, or if you can't come then, check it out afterwards and watch the replay, and you will see how that works together. Now I don't have Misty Moonlight, ink yet, because we were not able to pre-order it, and that's what I would use here. But I'm going to go with the next best thing. Night of Navy is darker, and I think that's okay when you're doing words. So I'm going to ink it up. I could have used my Stamparatus for this too, but I'm getting my grid paper lined up on my grid paper, hoping I get everything straight and don't get my head in the way here. And commit, Lillian, commit. There we go. Turned out okay. So now I'm happy with that. I can just start to put my card together after I do up my ink before. There we go. So use my adhesive, and I don't want to put it on I want to fold that under so I don't put it where I don't want it. And remember, this adhesive actually works well if it sits for a while, so it's fine to ink everything or glue everything up ahead of time, as long as you keep it out of the way. I'm going to bring my stamp, my mat in, my silicone mat, just because it's easier to see where my white edges are with it underneath. I use this mat for everything. It's on my desk all the time, never far from my work surface. So as I'm putting this down, I'm leaving a bit of a border all the way around, like that. And now I'm going to put the top piece on, and again, I'm going to just leave a bit of a border all the way around. Ooh, that looks so nice. I love the colors here. I'm going to run a little bit of adhesive here just so this will go down. Hold it down. And again, it's whatever adhesive you like to use. There's no right or wrong choice right here. With the one I'm using, you just have to hold it down a little bit longer until it sets. There we go. So there is the basic card. Now, just to dress it up a little bit, I think I'm going to bring in, I forgot to bring the whole thing. Here's a sneak peek. This is a bundle of ribbons. It's a combo pack. And I'm blanking out. It might be Forever Greenery, or maybe it's the flower one. I can't remember. But when you get the combo pack of ribbon, you get the twine, baker's twine, and it has silver and white and blue, Misty Moonlight actually, all spun together. Then there's this lovely linen ribbon, which is easy to dye with your blends, to color with your blends, but it just folds beautifully. And then this great gingham ribbon with this, it's in Just Jade, and I'm pretty sure this ribbon comes with in the same suite as the paper. So anyway, we're going to use this, and at least that was my plan. Maybe I should use this. No, I'm going to stick with this. Don't mess with what I'm planning here. Afterwards I can play around. So tying a bow, it's just like tying your shoes, and then just play with it a little bit. And that looks not too bad right there. Get that out of the way. I'm just going to hold on to this so I don't undo my bow. And then I'm just going to curl, just like you do curling ribbon. That one didn't curl much. Sometimes it gives it a nice curl. This one didn't do too much. I'm going to put it right there with a glue dot. Take your pick tool, it's not very handy. I'll just use the end of my scissors right now. Put that on there. Now the other thing, and if you got a new catalog from me, you had a little make and take in there that we're going to use tomorrow night at the catalog launch. And in the catalog was the make and take, and in the make and take were these gorgeous enamel dots in the in colors. I have gone through every package I was allowed to order, and this is all I have left. But I think we have enough to kind of finish this card off. I think we can bring in we'll put just jade and a misty moonlight. And I always say threes, but I think this is the third thing. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like it, just like that. What do you think? Should I bring in another enamel dot or not? I love these. Not only the color, but the size. I have, like I said, gone through a slew of them. Now, I am going to show you something else. This was my plan last night when I was doing this Create With Me class. And then I got to thinking on a walk this morning, what if I did it a 1/4 of an inch smaller? So I cut the designer paper a 1/4 of an inch smaller. I intended to do my cutting here the same. I made a mistake, but I should have cut it at 2 inches and scored at 1.5, just like we did on this one. But the actual designer paper itself was 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So it was just a 1/4 of an inch less this way and a 1/4 of an inch less that way. And then I put it on a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Whisper White and did everything else the same, but now I could put a colored base underneath. So this is what it looks like with just jade, and this is another piece of paper from that package of paper. Or I could put it on Misty Moonlight. Oh, I forgot about the bumblebee. I don't know what I was thinking about. Let's try the bumblebee here. I don't have bumblebee cut, but it'll give us the feeling for it. Or bumblebee. Oh, what do you think? Bumblebee, Misty Moonlight, just jade. Oh, I don't know which. Let me just see. I guess basically I just have to make a decision. Those of you who know me know I love my yellows, but I think I will go with, let me just see. I'll go with Misty Moonlight. Your comments always come up delayed, so I don't know which ones you chose. I will read them over afterwards and then make the choice and post the picture then. So here are the 2 cards that I made today. Here is the card that was my inspiration. Please join us tomorrow night at the catalog kickoff. There will be some prizes. You'll see some new product. You will see some, I'll explain some things in the catalog. And also, what was I going to say? I really can't do 2 things at once. I can barely do one thing. Anyway, I know. I will post the link after I post these pictures again today. So it is a private one, so you need to go there and ask to join. And then if you follow the links, and then I will have you admit you as a member, and then we'll go from there. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow night. All right, that's the card. Great way to use your designer paper. Loving this new set here. So take care. Bye bye. Have some fun with this.